Have you ever, been working on something creative and just hit a wall?
Oh, yeah, totally. Writer's block, that blank canvas stare down, happens to the best of us.
Exactly. But what if, and I know this sounds kind of sci-fi, what if AI could help us be more creative?
Well, that's what we're diving into today.
Can AI really create original content?
Right. And not just like rearrange stuff, but actually come up with something new.
We've got a whole pile of articles and blog posts here all about generative AI.
Fascinating stuff. A lot of debate about whether machines can be truly original.
Yeah, like I've seen AI write poems and even compose music.
It's impressive for sure.
But is it really creativity? Or is it just a super fancy copycat?
That's the million-dollar question.
So maybe we should start with the basics for anyone just tuning in.
Okay, sounds good.
What exactly is generative AI?
Well, imagine a computer that's read every book, listened to every song, seen every painting.
Whoa, that's a lot of data.
Right. And it's learned the patterns, the styles, the rules of all these creative works.
So, it's not just memorizing stuff, it's understanding how it all fits together.
That's the key. It uses that knowledge to create something new based on what you ask it to do.
So, I could tell it to write a screenplay in the style of Tarantino, but about talking cats.
You could definitely try,
Huh.
and it would probably come up with something pretty wild.
That's both awesome and a little terrifying.
I know, right? This tech is moving so fast. One of the big players here is GPT-4.
I've heard of that. It's that thing that can write like a human, right?
Yeah, GPT-4 is trained on a massive amount of text data, and it's learned to predict what comes next.
Like if I say the quick brown fox jumps over it can figure out it's probably lazy dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it can do that with much more complex ideas, whole paragraphs, even stories.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, and it gets
Yeah.
even weirder. There's also DALL-E, which creates images from text descriptions.
Oh, I've seen those. They're crazy realistic, sometimes surreal too.
Exactly. You could tell it, paint me a portrait of a robot eating a taco on Mars, and it
Wow.
would do it.
So we've got AI that can write, paint, compose music. The articles mention even generating code.
It's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Okay, so AI can make all this cool stuff.
Really impressive stuff, gotta admit.
But back to that big question. Can we call it original if it's all based on stuff humans made?
Yeah, that's the heart of the debate. Like, is it true creativity or just super-powered mimicry?
It's like if I took your favorite songs, mashed them up, called it a new song. Is that really original?
It might be technically unique, never existed before.
But it's not coming from my own, musical soul.
Right, and that's what's so tricky about AI. It can combine things in new ways, make cool variations.
That it doesn't have that human spark, those emotions and experiences that drive our creativity.
Exactly. At least not as far as we know
Yeah.
yet.
So AI is definitely creating something. Where that falls on the originality scale, that's up for debate.
Totally. A lot of gray areas to explore here.
And I'm thinking, for folks listening who create stuff for a living, this is getting real.
Yeah, the big question is, how will this change how we create?
Is AI a tool or a threat? Stay tuned. We'll dive into that after the break.
I think, a lot of people are worried about that, like a robot's going to take our jobs.
Yeah, that's the big fear, right? But before we spiral, maybe we should talk about how this could actually help us.
Okay, yeah, good point. I mean, think about it. How many times have you stared at a blank page?
Oh, all the time. Writer's block is the worst.
Right. But what if you could give AI, like, a few keywords or a basic outline?
And it could help me get started, instead of pulling my hair out trying to come up with ideas.
Exactly. It's like having a brainstorming buddy who's read every book and seen every movie ever made.
That'd be pretty handy.
It could even help you explore new angles you hadn't thought of. Say you're writing, I don't know, a mystery novel.
Yeah, I love mysteries.
You could feed AI some details like murder in a library, but then add the victim is a ghost.
Whoa, that's a twist.
Right. AI could spin out different scenarios, possibilities you might not have considered on your own.
So it's like a creativity booster, pushing you in new directions.
Yeah, exactly. And this works for any kind of content, not just writing. Imagine you're designing a website.
Okay, yeah.
AI could generate different layouts, color schemes, even suggest images based on your target audience.
That's wild. So it's like having a whole team of designers at your fingertips.
In a way, yeah. And think about things like, creating marketing materials.
Okay, so like social media posts, ads, that kind of stuff.
Right. AI can adapt your message for different platforms, using the right tone and style for each one.
That would save a ton of time. Instead of trying to be a master of everything, AI could handle some of the heavy lifting.
Exactly. It frees you up to focus on, the big picture stuff, the strategic thinking, the creative vision.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be a good thing. Less busy work, more time for the fun stuff.
Right. And it can also help you reach a wider audience.
Oh, how so?
Think about translation. AI can instantly translate your content into multiple languages, making it accessible globally.
So instead of limiting myself to just English speakers, I could reach people all over the world.
Exactly. The possibilities are pretty incredible.
It's like AI is this superpower allowing us to do things we never could before.
And, we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much more potential to unlock.
Okay, so we've talked about the good stuff, but you mentioned earlier that there are some downsides too, right?
Yeah, there are definitely some challenges. I mean, this tech raises a lot of questions, big ones.
Like what?
Well, for starters, who owns the content that AI creates? Like, if I use AI to help me write a song, who owns the copyright?
That's a good point. I wouldn't want to get sued for using something AI generated.
Right. It's a bit of a legal gray area at the moment. And then there's the issue of plagiarism.
Oh yeah, because AI is learning from all this existing content, right?
Exactly. So what's to stop it from, accidentally copying someone else's work?
Hmm, that's a scary thought. I wouldn't want to accidentally steal someone else's ideas.
Right. And as AI gets more sophisticated, it's going to become even harder to tell what's original and what's not.
So we can't just blindly trust everything AI spits out. We still need to use our own brains, our own judgment.
Absolutely. We need to be critical thinkers, especially in this new world of AI-generated content.
And I guess even if AI isn't directly plagiarizing, it's still drawing from a pool of human creativity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, where's the line between inspiration and imitation? It's a tricky question.
And what about the potential for AI to be used for bad stuff, like creating fake news or spreading misinformation?
That's a huge concern. AI can be used to create deepfakes or write articles that sound totally legit but are completely fabricated.
Whoa, that's terrifying. Like, how do we even know what to believe anymore?
It's going to become even more important to be media literate, to question what you see and hear, to do your own research.
Okay, so AI is powerful, but also potentially dangerous if it falls into the wrong hands.
Exactly. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It depends on the user, their intentions.
It feels like we're at this crossroads, this turning point where we have to decide how we want to use this technology.
I agree. It's a powerful force, and we need to figure out how to harness it responsibly.
Well, this has definitely been a thought-provoking conversation. I'm still a bit nervous about the potential downsides, but also excited about the possibilities.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for sure. But I think it's important to remember that ultimately, AI is a reflection of us, of our own creativity and ingenuity.
That's a good point. So maybe the question isn't whether AI can be creative, but whether it can help us be more creative as humans.
Ooh, that's a good one. Let's explore that after the break.
That's a tough one. I mean, we've been debating whether AI can even be creative, right?
Right. But what if, instead of replacing our creativity, it actually, amplifies it?
Interesting thought.
Like, what if AI takes over the boring stuff, the repetitive tasks, frees up our mental energy?
You mean like AI handles the grunt work so we can focus on the big ideas?
Exactly. Think about it. How much time do we waste on, formatting, research, editing? Yeah, a lot of time gets eaten up by those things, for sure.
But what if AI could do all that for us? We could spend more time actually, creating.
I see what you're saying. It's like, if you're a musician, AI could transcribe your melodies, arrange the music.
And you'd have more time to just jam and experiment with new sounds.
Exactly. Or if you're a writer, AI could help with research, fact-checking, even suggest different plot twists.
Right. And it's not just about saving time, it's also about expanding our creative horizons.
Oh, totally. Remember that example we talked about using AI to brainstorm sci-fi scenarios?
Yeah, that was cool. It could help you break out of your usual patterns, see things from a new angle.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like having a superpowered brainstorming partner constantly feeding you new ideas.
And let's not forget the data analysis part. AI can spot trends, make connections that we might miss.
Oh yeah, huge advantage there. Like it could analyze your writing style, suggest improvements, things like that.
So it's like having a built-in editor, but also a research assistant, a muse,
hmm
all in one.
It's kind of like having a whole team of creative collaborators, all powered by AI.
Exactly. And that frees us up to, focus on what makes us human, the emotions, the storytelling, the stuff AI can't replicate.
Yeah, that's the key. It's not about AI replacing us. It's about AI enhancing us.
It's like AI takes care of the logistics, the mechanics, and we get to focus on the art, the heart of the matter.
That's a great way to put it. It's a collaboration, a partnership between human and machine.
This whole deep dive has really shifted my perspective. I came in worried about AI taking over, but
But now you're seeing it as a potential ally, a way to boost our own creative powers.
exactly. It's like AI is this new tool, this incredible resource that can help us unlock our full potential.
And who knows what amazing things we'll create with this new power at our disposal.
I guess the future of creativity isn't about humans versus AI. It's about humans and AI working together.
I think that's a great takeaway. It's about embracing the possibilities, but also being mindful of the challenges.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into generative AI and the question of originality.
Thanks for having me. It's been a fascinating conversation.
Always a pleasure. And for our listeners, thanks for joining us on this journey. Keep those creative sparks flying.